Before we get into this episode, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. You can hit the notification button so you can get updated weekly on all of our latest content. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, tell us what you want to see next below.
Okay, they come in pale pink, winter white,
Okay.
black velvet, and a mule that's like a khaki, piped and brown. And one of the most adorable things, it's a little understated, SB.
So cute.
So cute. So flattered.
And you know what? I heard you say somewhere, I can't remember where, that every girl needs like a great pair of loafers.
Oh, yeah.
Very important.
That's one.
I think it's pretty cool. Where did you get this personality? Because the internet has fallen in love with your personality. When you look way back on your childhood, was it something that you got from your parents? Did you come out this way?
From both my parents. My father was in sales, and we moved around a lot because he kept getting better territories and, salesman of the year. And sadly, he was killed by a drunk driver when he was 33 in New Braunfels. And we lived in San Antonio at the time. And then my mother was from Rhode Island, very New England, but hysterical, very, very sarcastic wit, which I always say I haven't had an original thought in my head in about 50 years because I retain, if something's funny, I use it.
As you should. I collect comedian tips and tricks and sentences all the time. I have it in my notes app. Did you know that, Michael?
I do know that.
I came up with this phrase, don't CFC me.
What does that mean?
Copy fucking cat. CFC. No.
I'm going to say that to my husband because guess what he does?
No.
Yes, he takes my jokes, he rebrands them as his own, and then presents them like they're his idea.
I don't think that's true.
It's true.
I think that's very poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let her fool you. You've just known her for 5 minutes.
No, trust me.
I got her number.
Trust me. Yeah. Trust me. He completely rebrands them like their own. But the fucked up part is he thinks it's actually truly his idea.
I would say that I refine. Lauren has a difficulty with the delivery because she jumps to the punchline before she tells the story. And I'm like, so
I'm quicker and wittier, so it's
okay.
I jump a little quicker.
Whatever you gotta
keep up.
Whatever you gotta think.
Sometimes you can say, well, I was thinking about that and you just stole it out of my brain. That's a good way to get around.
You steal a lot of jokes
being
from
a
my
CFCer.
Right.
So have you always had a point of view like you had since you were a little girl?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
What were you like?
Very outgoing. Loved moving around. Like I would do something like chewing gum, and the teacher would say, well, you can't do that. And I said, oh, I didn't know that. Of course I knew you couldn't chew gum. So I was always, playing like the dumb bunny, but I was really very bright. Yeah. Well, I had a sister 15 months younger, and she hated moving. And she would always get in trouble because she'd call people from where we had lived before. And not me. I mean, I was a new girl in town and played that to the hilt. And this is a little bit like that. You've got a new audience and strangers come up, and I used to keep a little journal. If somebody would give me a big compliment, and I'd write it in the journal. And if I was a little down or depressed, I'd get that little journal out and I'll say, oh, the nice lady on the bus told me I was pretty. Now, this is like, I get swarmed. I mean, I feel like the Beatles in the 60s. It's
do
really
you still
funny.
have the journal where you keep all the compliments from social media and in person?
I didn't bring it with me, but I do have it.
You know what you should do?
What?
You guys should do a Suebelle compliment journal. And everyone should be able to buy this very Palm Beach-esque journal where they can all write compliments that people give them. I feel like that would sell out. It could have your logo on it and everything.
Well, we're doing an autobiography. Oh, can't talk about it too much. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a memoir. That seems like for people when they've died. This is,
Listen, there's
just,
people in their like early 30s that write memoirs, and I always
Really?
find that strange. Yeah.
You've said that. You've said that you don't want to write any kind of biography or anything until you're older.
Yeah, don't you think it's strange to write a memoir at 30 years old? Unless you know you're about to kick the bucket. And,
Yeah,
you know,
right. 3 weeks to live. I enjoy talking about different parts of, what I've done, because that's who you are, all the experiences. I taught first grade in a Catholic school in Boston, and I made $80 a week. So I became a Playboy bunny at night. So both had great experiences.
Wait. You were a first grade teacher and a Playboy bunny at night?
That's
I
amazing.
don't know if you can get away with that anymore.
Well, nobody knew. We
What
kept
if
everything
you were
quiet.
like teaching someone's son and then you saw their dad at night?
Oh no, this was in a suburb way far from Boston.
And what was it like being were you at the Playboy Club?
Yeah.
What was it like? Tell us every detail of that.
Well, I was from Texas.
Okay.
And I'd never seen, there were black bunnies and Chinese bunnies and like truck driver bunnies that would like take their uniform and pull it up. And there was, it was interesting. I only did it maybe a year and a half, but I had fun.
Wait, so are the bunnies like going on dates with the guys in the club, or
No, that was a no-no. And naive me, well, there wasn't anybody I would have gone out with, but I found out a lot of the bunnies were, having affairs with patrons, key holders. And I only worked on the cocktail band part. There, you could go upstairs and make a lot of money and work in the dining room, but the bunnies had to have about 5 plates on their arms, steaks to deliver them, and they made a ton of money. But I was scared to have all the plates on my arms, so I just stayed in the rock and roll part.
Did you meet Hugh Hefner?
No, in Boston, the only way they would let them have a club was to make it a corporation. And so, but he did give us Christmas gifts. He gave me some electric rollers.
I thought you were going to say
Clairol.
something else electric.
No. And, but at Christmas, I was a door bunny, and they gave me a green satin bunny suit with marabou fur on it. It was so beautiful. And everybody thought they were giving you tips, but it went into, unless somebody put a $20 bill in your hand, it all went to the house. So people thought they were tipping you, and you never saw anything. But it was fun. It was a good experience. And when I was there, I met a politician who was a state rep, and I thought he was like a Kennedy because he talked like a Kennedy, and he had Kennedy hair and Brooks Brothers suits. And he brought me to Palm Beach. That's how I was first. And we went to the Colony Hotel after dinner. All the old ladies were beautiful. Nobody was fat. And I said, I'm going to live here someday.
So, okay. You are known as a Palm Beach icon. There's obviously now been a television show about Palm Beach. For the person that's never been to Palm Beach and doesn't get what Palm Beach is, how would you describe Palm Beach?
Explain it to a blind kindergartner.
Okay. Palm Beach is a beautiful, manicured little 5 streets, beautiful houses. Everything's pink and green. Golf courses all over, beautiful hotels like the Breakers and the Colony Hotel. And there are 3 bridges, the Northern Bridge, the Southern Bridge, and the Middle Bridge. And they all, like the Southern Bridge is Mar-a-Lago. And I live in the Middle Bridge, which is right, they call it Midtown. And the Northern Bridge is where the best... we have this shopping center, and it used to just be like, then St. Ambrose came, the restaurant, and Palm Beach Grill was there. And now you can barely get in there. There was an old theater where they used to have off-Broadway shows in the 50s and 60s, and it was just terrible. Nobody could do anything with it. So they put all this money and they're redoing the theater. So you have the beautiful shopping center that's got Gucci. It's got everybody you can imagine, Hermes, and the theater's being done. I have a friend, just local people, self-made, and her husband's doing all the windows. I mean, I had 4 windows put in my condo and it was $50,000. So you can imagine how well they're going to be doing the windows on this theater.
Is everything there just like so expensive because it's Palm Beach?
Well, a smoothie at the airport here is $12 and it's only like 10 in Palm Beach. So
so it's not crazy.
Austin's having a boom of its own.
When you went to Palm Beach for the first time, did you know I'm living here?
Oh, yes.
So immediately it was synergistic and you loved it right away, and it had the appeal back then.
It's beautiful. It was how I felt when I went to Madison Avenue or the Plaza Hotel for the first time.
You felt at home.
This is where I'm going to be.
So when you meet the politician, did you date the politician?
Oh, yes. I stopped being a bunny. It was sort of sad because his mother hated me on sight. And I don't know why, but he was the only boy, and he was Jewish, but his sisters all married non-Jewish, so that wasn't an issue. I think she just, for some reason, she didn't like me. I'll give you an example. I stayed friends with his sister, and when I got married, his sister Jane said, "Mommy, Suebelle got married," and his mother said, "Suebelle who?"
Oh.
So
I have something to confess.
What?
I never understood that kind of mother-in-law, but now that I have a son, I don't know. I might be that kind of mother-in-law.
No, you
won't. I whisper in his ear every night. He's living with his mom for the rest of his life.
Oh my God, we're going to raise a little baby veal if we're not careful.
It's really hard when you have a little cute ham of a son and then they have to like go date someone. I can't even imagine. Maybe she was just obsessed with her son like I am.
Listen, we're not raising Oedipus over here. It's like,
no, he is Oedipus. My son's Oedipus.
No, we're getting, he's getting out of the house
what you
at
can't do,
18.
you can't say don't date him. You got to just let him work it out.
I know. I got to let him work it out.
That'll make him go more.
At what point did you meet the love of your life, who was your husband?
Oh, I've had a couple loves of my life.
Okay, I love that. Tell us about all of them.
I always say your heart is like a hotel, and it has a lot of rooms, and it has a couple suites.
Oh my God!
And the Boston state politician, he was really special. And then I got in the travel business. I needed a summer job for the teaching, and I got in the travel business, and I took big groups to Switzerland and Puerto Rico and France. And then I got promoted where I lived in the country. And I was living in Honolulu at the Ilokai Hotel. And I saw this guy on the balcony. He was in the room right next to mine. And I said, "Hello." And I always said I was Romeo and he was Juliet, because he was with the newspaper. It was called a joint venture. His company, USA Today, and the Honolulu paper had a joint venture. So he was in town for that. And his company was based in Rochester, New York, which is very pretty, but a little provincial. And
not Palm Beach.
I became like a little movie star there. I mean, they were used to, Rochester was Kodak and, small town. And it was fun. I had beautiful houses, had great friends. Let me see. I still took a few trips with groups since I'd been in that business, but I really I love being in Rochester, and he had two little girls, so I became a stepmother. That was fun, and so I decided that's enough. I don't need to have any kids of my own. So I've been the stepmother. I've loved it, but then I've also had the stepmother blues. You know, when you're feeling like the nanny, that's not great.
The stepmother blues.
Yes,
So I've never been a stepmother. It makes you feel like you're a nanny.
like you're a nanny, and the ex-wife is out in Rio de Janeiro having a big time, and you're
That's specific.
you're the nanny. But anyway, we had a very friendly divorce, and then I moved back to Boston, where I had lived, and met the real love of my life, who was in the financial business. He was an institutional broker. He didn't sell stocks to people; he sold them to institutions, and just had a great time. Boston was wonderful. We got the place in Newport, and when he said I made too much money and I don't have any deductions, got the place in Palm Beach, and Palm. Another wonderful thing about Palm Beach, besides you have the ocean on one side, and then you have the inlet waterway, and along the waterway is a beautiful bike path, walking path, lake trail they call it, and it's just a wonderful place to be. Sadly, he had a stroke and was paralyzed. So we were married 38 years.
Wow.
And 34 were fabulous. But the last 4 years was very sad for him. It was sad because he had a stroke in November, and in December he was supposed to get a knee replacement because he was a big tennis player. But everybody loved him, and he made me laugh all the time. He danced in the morning, and he sang to me, and I CFC his jokes all the time because he was just hilarious. So my trick for marriage is he has to love you just a little bit more than you love him.
Agreed.
And he has to make you laugh. How you doing with that, Michael?
I think she laughs pretty good.
I do laugh.
That's
And I
it.
probably love her a little bit more, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
There you go.
Since I was 12.
Pardon me?
Since I was 12, I was chasing her.
Oh, I love that.
She took a while to say
You
yes.
loved me a lot more than I loved you, and now I went up a little bit.
She is a pain in the ass, though, I got to be honest.
Well,
Well,
sorry.
she wants what she wants.
Well, you
right?
want someone that's black
No,
and white
we
or
have fun.
color?
We do laugh a lot together. That's for sure.
We do laugh a lot. You got to be in on the joke.
My hobby is introducing people. I have 11 marriages, and I started in college.
You have 11
where I've
where
brokered.
you've brokered the deals. Okay.
That's her hobby.
Isn't that great?
I love it.
Some died, some got divorced, some are miserable, but I don't think you fit in there. But there's nothing like that great feeling when you've made two people happy.
Marriage is, and I'm realizing this, like the older I get, if it's not right for me, it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's gotta be right. There's a real finesse to it. Like if you're miserable in the marriage, what's the point?
Yeah. And it is supposedly forever.
Whew. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I could do forever if it was. I couldn't do it.
No.
I know some people will stick it through for the kids. I'm not a stick.
I've never really got the logic of sticking it through for the kids, because the kids are around an environment. If you're miserable in that environment,
I
and the parents
agree.
aren't happy. Like, I don't think that's good.
Yeah, they can pick up on. I think one of the reasons I decided not to have kids is because I grew up with a rich Protestant father's family and the mother's Catholic side, and they argued about religion all the time. It's sad because he was only 33 and they were starting to work it out when he was killed. But I remember as being very young.
Yeah, how old were you when that happened?
13.
Wow.
Oh, that's very traumatic. You
Well,
spent a lot of time
it
with
gets
him.
worse because the next year, my mother married his best friend, who I adored. He'd signed my autograph book when I was 11, and he was so handsome. He'd never been married. The next year, he married my mother, and she was so gaga over him. We used to laugh, catch them kissing a little bit. And the next year, I was 15, and our house burned down. And our collie died. We had a big, beautiful collie.
Oh.
And so those two things happening were really depressing. But when I was 16, I got a job working in a men's store, which, don't you know, I love that. It had a little corner of Villager Clothes, which was a preppy line of women's clothes. And I loved it. Work became my favorite thing.
I think maybe one of the things that people find so attractive about you on the internet is that you have had, adversity, and you're so resilient, and you're like a spitfire, and you have this point of view, and it's inspiring for me to, like, I love watching all your stories. You can feel that you've had grit, and you can feel that you have depth and different layers that probably comes from when you were little.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a lovely compliment.
I mean, you can feel when people follow you, there's a real honesty about you, and it's attractive.
I get a wonderful compliment that I'm authentic. And I think that what you just gave me is a definition of authenticity.
I just want to know if you're going to write my compliment in your compliment book.
Yes.
Okay.
And you'll sign
I want
it.
to be featured in the compliment book.
And you can give me some photos to put in there.
Okay. I have all different kinds of ones, especially at this stage of pregnancy.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Oof.
Ali McGraw. Has anybody ever told you that?
No one's ever told me that.
Okay, well.
And
now
I
they
just
have.
read her autobiography.
That's
so
a good compliment.
It's a very nice compliment. Thank you. So when you were in Palm Beach, after being on social media and being this public figure, and you're walking around and you're going to St. Ambrose, is that how you say the name?
Mhm.
I get in trouble for mispronouncing everything. And you're walking around the town. Do people come up to you all the time?
Yes.
So you're like, you're literally a celebrity there.
I have this neighbor, and I just moved in about a year ago. We got it all fixed up, and she's from North Carolina. She's a big decorator, and she went, "Suebelle, is that Suebelle?" and I get that a lot. Not as dramatic as Francie, but yeah, in restaurants and people. And can I have a picture? Because my sister loves you. They never say they love you, but they have a brother or a sister.
Somebody.
My aunt. We got that today at the airport. It's always fun. And about 15 years ago, I slipped at a car wash and I broke my ankle. My wrist, not ankle. And that's why I always wear a bracelet. And that night I was very depressed. And we were at the beach club, and George Hamilton was in the buffet line. And I was so crazy about him. And I said, "Oh, I voted for you on Dancing with the Stars," which is really a jerky thing I never did that before, and he made a movie about Hank Williams, a country western singer.
Mm-hmm.
And so and plus he was gorgeous. And I voted for you. And then he goes, "Oh, hi, Ashley. How are you? It's George." And ever since then, I have always been so sweet to anybody that recognizes me, because
So he was sweet, or he was not?
no,
He was dismissive.
Totally blew me off and went to my friend.
Big mistake, George
Broken
Hamilton.
wrist, feeling sad.
Ooh, big mistake.
And I voted Dancing
And she
with the
voted for you,
Stars.
George Hamilton. That is a big mistake. I hope he's listening.
When he listens to this show, which he's a regular listener, he's not
that's
going to
a
like this
mistake.
story.
Now I'm friends with his son, who goes out with one of my friends.
Yeah, and you're the mayor of Palm Beach, so I wouldn't fuck around with you.
No.
What do you think that the mistake that women my age are making right now when it comes to dating, meaning probably from 20 to 40? What do you see as a mistake?
Well, you know what the big mistake is? Coming off needy, you know?
I think you might be. I think this is my spirit animal. I literally knew she was going to say that.
Did you?
Talk more about
Needy,
being
like,
needy.
You know, he didn't call me, and do you think I should call him back? And is it okay to text? And, you know, just chill. You know, this therapist told me, you are enough. And that's what I think women should keep telling themselves, or get a needlepoint pillow with. You are enough.
That would sell out if you made that pillow.
It would.
You know,
It would.
I also think, and I feel like you know this, you're the queen of this probably. Men want to hunt, and if they want to call you and they want to text you, they will pick up the phone and do it. So instead of, what's the point of waiting around?
Well, Palm Beach is a little difficult. You know, men die before women, sadly. And so there are some few men around town, and they're creepy.
Oh, they are.
And they're treated like Brad Pitt because
Right.
there are very few cool guys around. I tell everybody that I think they should go on social media. I mean, you can have a cup of coffee with anybody, and you know, don't waste your time on a dinner date. You know, because 15 minutes into it if they're a jerk or not.
I agree.
So
I agree that the dinner date's too
Meaning,
long.
like, go to the coffee first because you
Yeah.
can tell quickly. You don't have to spend a whole night at dinner.
Oh,
absolutely.
I've heard some women say that they won't go, and I haven't been single for a long time, but like I work with a lot of women. I have sisters. I've heard a lot of them say like they won't go out with the guy if he won't take them to dinner.
oh,
That's a big
interesting.
mistake.
If I was single, I would not want to go to dinner. It's too long in the tooth.
No.
I want I'll know right away, like you said. I think a cocktail is appropriate, but
Absolutely.
I love a hard out. That's my favorite thing, a hard out.
What's that?
A hard out is like, I can meet you at 6, but I have a hard out at 6:45. I have to leave at 6:45.
Oh, absolutely. That's great.
So
That's
then I have optionality. If I like you, I'll stay on the date. But if I don't, I have a hard out. And
Yeah.
I can't go a minute over 6:45 because that hard out is just so hard.
it sounded a little sexual what you were saying. I don't-
Maybe. Smart Mouth is the only mouthwash scientifically proven to eliminate and prevent bad breath for 24 hours with just 2 rinses. Why I personally think this is cool is it's a patented zinc ion technology. And the dentist who created it, Dr. Cohen, literally spent years researching the cause of bad breath, which led to the development of their patented technology that I just told you about. So he actually wrote the book on bad breath. And as the author of Halitosis, he wanted to create this. So here's the breakdown. Smart Mouth prevents bad breath 12 times longer than leading brands. It's an ultimate dual chamber bottle that keeps 2 powerful solutions separate until you're ready to rinse. So you pour the 2 solutions into the cup, and with that, you're activating their smart zinc technology. And the zinc ion activation is actually the key to eliminating and preventing sulfur gas. And what I found out is that sulfur gas is bad breath. And that's the secret to all day fresh breath. And I think that this is a great thing if you're looking to prevent bad breath, especially for hours at a time. Super easy and seamless, just 2 rinses. Never have bad breath again. Find Smart Mouth at Walgreens, Walmart, and Amazon, or visit smartmouth.com/skinny to snag a special discount on your next Smart Mouth purchase. That's www.smartmouth.com/skinny. Don't miss out on 24-hour fresh breath. Your mouth will thank you. I know that there's one thing that all moms take very seriously, and that is their feeding journey with their baby. And if you decide to do formula, there is a simple, organic, high-quality formula that is really the best of the best, and that is called Bobby. It's founded by moms, backed by science, and trusted by over 500,000 parents. So I actually had the opportunity to interview the founder of Bobby, and it was a really great episode because she broke everything down. So Bobby's formulas are USDA organic, They're also clean label certified and they're modeled after breast milk. So whether you're exclusively formula feeding, combo feeding, or you just need a backup, just in case maybe you want to bring something to the hospital, Bobby has your back. I personally would go for their OG, much loved organic original infant formula. It has grass-fed whole milk. And they also have a gentle option. So if your baby has a sensitive belly, this one is great to look at. Or you could also pick up their organic whole milk recipe, which is the world's first and only. Obviously, feeding your baby isn't a one-size-fits-all, but if you're looking for a formula, check out Bobby. Bobby is offering an additional 10% off your purchase with the code TSC. Visit hibobby.com to find the Bobby formula that fits your journey. That's HIBOBBIE.com.
Quick break to talk about what has quickly become my summer go-to, and that is Astral Tequila. Lauren and I sometimes, from time to time, like to host these dinner parties and events at our house. We recently just had a party, and I think one of the best things you can do if you're going to host a dinner party or even have a get-together at your house, what we like to do is have people come over and have these welcome drinks and then this set cocktail menu throughout the night. And the last one we did, we used Astral Tequila, and we had the añejo, and we're making tequila old fashions. A lot of people think that you can only do this with whiskey, but actually tequila, specifically añejo, makes a phenomenal old fashioned with a little bit of chocolate mole bitters and maybe an orange rind. And then, like I said, you have a tequila old fashioned that's incredible. And then my personal favorite go-to margarita, which I call the Michael Perfect Margarita, even though it's not my recipe and it's just the classic tequila recipe, which is 3-2-1. It's 3 parts tequila, 2 parts like a Cointreau, not triple sec Cointreau, and then, some fresh lime juice. And we had a craft cocktail bartender make these up and hand them out at the party. And it just completely changes the atmosphere. It allows you as the host to enjoy your home and your guests, and it allows the guests to experience a really good cocktail on entry and make it feel like, you've put some extra effort into it. As it relates to Astral, like I said, my favorite is the Reposado. I think it comes with a little bit of a different flavor profile. Many people use the Blanco when it comes to margaritas, which is completely fine. But I think the Reposado adds a little bit of maybe a more spicy floral taste, which I personally like. And then I think if you're going to try that tequila old fashioned, which is essentially just an old fashioned with a tequila base, the añejo. And then maybe if you were going to do a sipping cocktail or something on the rocks, you do the Blanco or maybe a Paloma. And Astral has quickly become my go-to for tequila margaritas at home. It's an affordable, great tasting tequila that mixes beautifully into just about any cocktail, especially a margarita. Astral's award-winning quality and taste has an agave-forward citrus profile that adds a burst of brightness to any cocktail. And Housemarque Summer is here. So it's time to stock up. Go to www.astraltequila.com to find Astral near you. And don't forget the limes. Please enjoy responsibly.
So what mistake do you think men are making right now?
Oh, thinking they're too cool.
Yeah.
Not being honest. Yeah.
Like being cheaty?
Like cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not cool. That's not cool.
There's a lot of cheating going on, huh?
I guess there is, but I always say until you've walked in somebody's shoes, you shouldn't judge.
Yep, that's a good one.
I'm not saying have dates with married guys. It's cool. But, there are situations where divorce is expensive.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't think it's easy. I think you two are blessed. I was blessed. It really is if you find the right person and treasure them.
I think it's probably very expensive in Palm Beach to get divorced.
Probably.
Yeah. So maybe there are situationships that work.
Yeah. I have a friend, she died. She was so funny. She'd say, don't say somebody's wealthy, say they're rich. She'd tell me all this sort of gossipy stuff. But she'd say, just don't tell them that I told you. And, she had an affair with this man. This was in Southampton, and they would go to cocktail parties together. Everybody knew about it, and then her husband dated. It was in the 60s, so I don't know.
Everyone's different.
That until you've walked in somebody's shoes. I love that. It's empathy.
Speaking of parties, I hear about these parties in Palm Beach. What's the wildest party you've ever been to in Palm Beach?
What are the parties in Palm Beach? Tell us about that.
Well, I do know this girl. It's like a jillionaire, and every year she has a big party at the Everglades Club, and she must have like 200 people, and it's just over the top. This club is gorgeous flowers, the food. One year it was we all wore turbans. I don't know. She had everybody wear these beautiful silk turbans. I've held on to my turban in case I ever need it. But uh, there, I don't know. When I lived in Rochester in the 80s and early 90s, it was sort of a dinner party kind of thing. And I don't know if it's COVID or what, but one thing they do, there's a place called the Colony Club. I did do a meet and greet there that was really fun. And on Sunday night, they have bingo, and Monday night, they have uh, trivia.
Michael loves trivia.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that to me is a great place to go. Oh, and on Thursday night, they have gay night. So, it's really fun. And it's a hotel that's been there since 1926, I think. They used to have a framed picture, a framed check that the Duke of Windsor wrote for $150. He had stayed there for a week with
Is
the
there
Duchess.
a lot of celebrities and royalty that come through Palm Beach?
Well, we have Sylvester Stallone, and I sort of, what do you call it? When you track somebody,
Stalk them?
yeah, I sort of stalked this girl. She was in the fruits, and I stalked her over to the Bologna area, and I said, "I just have to tell you, you are so beautiful," because people will say that to me, and it's a nice thing to do. And it was Sylvester Stallone's wife, and she said, "Oh, thank you." And then I saw her again, and she said, "Oh, yes, we've met before." So that was sort of sweet. But yeah, because of the horseback thing, the Wellington is a big horse area. It's about 30 minutes outside of Palm Beach, and it's the horse capital of the world, which I didn't really know about. So we get like Mayor Bloomberg's daughter and let's see, Bruce Springsteen's kid.
It's kind of like becoming a place too, I feel like, for younger people too.
Oh, well, because of COVID, people left New York. They rented in Palm Beach. They fell in love with it,
Uh-huh.
and then they bought. So,
I think that's cool though. It's the juxtaposition of both
Well,
and
Mar-a-Lago's down there now too, so it's becoming like the second capital of the country because of everything that's going on with the administration. A lot of people are down there.
and a lot of people are buying homes. The real estate market has, well, my little penthouse story. A lot of people are wanting to live. It's the quality of life. The bad thing that's happened is it's so hard to find a good school because everybody has kids and there aren't that many schools. So that has really
Aren't
been
they
a
working
problem.
on bringing more schools down there now, though? I thought I read an article that.
A couple, like Bill Koch has a school,
Mhm.
and let me see. Well, they have the day school, which is a darling little school. Everybody that grew up in Palm Beach went to the day school, but uh, there's only they only have so many places for the kids. There's a big public school, but that's become an issue. Of course, I don't have kids, thank God, but um, people have said we have a friend that has a facial place, and she wants her daughter to go to this particular school, Catholic school, and just couldn't get in. It was too crowded.
What do you think is the best tips for when it comes to presenting yourself as a woman? You talked about the loafer. What are your like beauty secrets and tips?
Oh, look your very best at all times.
Oh my gosh, you and Michael should hang out. That's Michael's tip too.
Wear
Michael likes that tip.
makeup.
Okay.
Okay. If you're going to the gym, which is great, you should stay thin or as thin as you can. Go home and take a shower and put on a pretty outfit.
Oh, I have to take a shower after the gym.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a lot of work, Suebelle.
Glad I'm gonna record this and play it. I'm gonna leave it for
It's a
her.
lot of
in
work.
the car.
Come on. You want me to take a shower after I go to the gym? Oh,
You would not believe how awful some of these women look in the grocery store. Our grocery store is like a cocktail party. You see everybody you know, and I see women looking just like dogs. Really. And they have great jewelry and great clothes, but they only wear them to these stupid luncheons. You have to be there like at 11:30. Everybody's overdressed. They really just want money. There's always, walking around, get more money. And they go on till about 3 p.m. The day is just shot.
and you're drinking probably, so you're like exhausted by 3.
Yeah, and you all you want to do is take a nap, but it's so boring. I eat a whole bread basket by myself because it's like so. But that's
Then why do you go?
because they asked me,
Sometimes you
and,
have to
and
go.
I have some wonderful friends. People are so sweet. It's like they're happy to see you. There's a cute. Well, he's getting older, but who isn't? Plastic surgeon. And every time I see him, he said, "You look so beautiful." And it's like, oh, guys would say that. They wouldn't say that if you go in with your sneakers and your black Lulus on.
So you don't like
Is
the
it
color black.
Lululemon.
You don't like the color black to wear.
No.
I noticed you're in navy.
Yeah, I love navy, love chocolate and pale blue. But if you're working out, black is cool, but don't spend the day in black.
Is it because you feel like it looks like you're like working at like why don't you like the color black? I've heard this from a lot of people.
It's sort of drab. It's not flattering on everybody.
Okay.
I mean, when lived in New York, I lived on, I didn't tell you, happiest time in my life. We bought a penthouse, not a penthouse, an apartment at 891 Park Avenue between 78 and 79.
Oh, I like that area.
Oh, I loved it. And Richard would stay in Palm Beach to play tennis, and I would go back to New York and take acting lessons. But I could never remember my lines. That's why this pod stuff is okay. I can just talk. But yeah, I love. In New York, you wear a lot of black.
So you're just fatigued of black.
Yeah, it's tiring. And I always tell people, okay, if you want to wear white with black, don't wear a white shirt and black pants because they'll think you're a caterer.
Is that what you're wearing?
No, chocolate.
Oh, he's wearing chocolate. He wins.
That's my boy.
That's her boy. You're wearing chocolate.
You're in black right now.
You're all black.
She's pregnant.
Yeah, what am I can't wear white right now. No, I can't wear white, guys. I'll look like the marshmallow.
They stop at your face. Really?
Yeah, okay, just let's stop right here.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Okay. All right.
Teeth.
Thank you.
You did well, Michael.
Yep.
Well, I will say, I'm happy.
You tracked her,
Yeah,
right?
I tracked her for a long time. I was like, God, it took a long time, Suebelle. Long time.
Well,
long
that's
time.
what it's all about.
Yeah, that
Yep.
is what it's all about.
That is.
How did you keep it spicy in a marriage that was, you said, 38 years?
Oh, gosh. Well, we had a rule for a while. We had our 10-second kiss
What's that?
because I just like buzz him.
I
And
thought
he'd
you were going to say 10 seconds something else.
10-second what?
I
Spank?
thought he was going to say something else. A 10-second lay. Okay. Okay.
Gone but not forgotten, right?
A 10-second kiss. What does that mean?
Well, that means you have to kissing for 10 seconds.
Because you would just go quick and then.
Yeah. And I would say, hand me that. He'd say, please is a very nice word. And I'd say, well, I was going to say thank you. But, like treating them like you would treat somebody you were trying to impress.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I know it is,
It's
but
a lot of work.
it's so is being happy.
I know. You know
Yeah.
what? I'm going to insist we do a 10-second kiss.
I'm going to insist that you use basic manners then.
Okay, that's a deal. We made a see. That's marriage. It's a deal, right?
I'm going to insist that you take off your blouse.
Well, that's more of a demand.
So what else did you do to
let
keep
me
it
see.
spicy? What are the things you guys did together?
Oh, in the morning on Fridays, we would go to Newport for the weekend, and he would start dancing, and he called it the Newpie dance because Newport. And but we always took 2 cars, and people would say, "You take 2 cars to Newport? It's only 86 miles away." But we didn't get along in the car,
Wait. This is amazing.
Why? What would happen in the car? You guys are just
took
like-
2 cars?
Yeah, we had to do 2 cars.
This is interesting
Our
because
first
we get in
Christmas-
fights sometimes in the cars too. Go ahead.
Well, our first Christmas, and I got angry because he spent too much money. He got from F.O. Schwartz one of those little kiddie steering wheels, know?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be funny, but I didn't think it was
Oh,
funny.
he put it in the passenger seat for you.
No, he gave it to me as a Christmas gift.
Oh.
They give them to children.
Yeah.
Or
But why? Why did he?
because of the way I drove. I still have. Oh, when we would get in the car, this was funny. He would go, crash position.
Why? Because he thought you were a bad driver?
Yeah.
Wait, but I have a solve for this.
What?
I don't drive. He drives. I don't pump gas. And I'll tell you why. Why am I married if I don't have him to drive me around and pump the gas? That needs to be a caveat of the marriage, I think.
Don't you like to drive your own style? What if he drives too slow?
No, I'm not.
I'm like the 3 little bears. I'm not too slow, not too fast.
You are
just
just
right.
Yeah, you are just right.
Yeah.
Oh, then that's.
I don't want to drive. Did you want to drive?
She
You don't-
goes too slow.
You,
She
you
puts.
strike
Oh my
me as
god.
someone that likes to be chauffeured around.
No, I like to
You like to drive.
drive and get where I'm going, and I don't want to slow down at a yellow light. I want to go through it, and I would say, "Hurry up, hurry up."
So you guys would fight over how to drive.
Yeah, so we had separate cars.
And that kept the marriage nice and alive.
You want to know what a precious guy he was?
What?
Well, there was a black Lexus in our back driveway at this condo we lived in, and every time I would go out, I'd say, "Oh, I love that car." It was just so good looking. And a few years later, it was my birthday, and we were going out the front door where we had a parking space, and somebody was in my space, and I said, "Oh, God damn it, I'm going to go talk to the manager. This is ridiculous." And he said, "Wait, I think there's a card on the steering wheel." And he had bought me a black Lexus. And I know.
Thoughtful.
Yeah.
Very, very thoughtful.
Yes.
What were his hobbies? Did he like to read? You said you
No.
mentioned tennis. What are the things he
Golf
liked
and
to
tennis and friends.
Golf and tennis and friends.
And that's what you need. Friends are where it's at.
Were you guys out in Palm Beach together all the time?
Yeah, we had, I don't cook. It's never been my thing. So we go out to dinner like 6 or 7 nights a week. And I would cook. I said, "This isn't very good, is it?" And he said, "No, it's not."
You know what? It could get worse.
That's like you.
I poisoned my husband.
She cooked
Do
me.
you?
She
Yeah.
cooked me turkey one time and
And it
didn't cook the
poisoned
turkey and literally poisoned me. Because you have to cook.
Can't
turkey.
be perfect in
It
every
can't
area.
be pink. Yeah, I know.
Well, I can't be perfect in
No,
every
so we
single
said
area.
we'll just go out to dinner instead.
I don't have the
or-
capacity.
You know what's cool is a crock pot.
Crock-pot
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah, crock pot. Sour cream becomes stroganoff wine. It becomes beef bourguignon.
A chef's also cool. Someone to help you cook's cool too.
Yeah.
So, did he get to see your success as this social media sensation?
Yes. I posted pictures of couple pictures of us and read him the comments. He just loved it.
You know what I love? I love a crunch, but I also love a meatball. And when my meatball comes together with a crunch, that's a dream. So I've been using the Taylor Farms chopped salad kit, the Mediterranean crunch, to mix in my venison meatball. I do a meatball every day and I like to change it up and switch it up. I do a burger bowl. That's where I use the Mediterranean crunch. But I also do like a Caesar bowl where I'll use their Caesar salad kit. And then I also do like a Fiesta bowl where I'll do cheese and like crunchy chips in it with a little bit of their sweet kale. You can really mix it up. I like Taylor Farms because it's ready to go. It's efficient. There's no chopping, slicing, or leaving a half of a nasty cabbage in your fridge. It's just fresh greens. It has yummy dressing if you want to add dressing. And you just mix it up and I add it to my meat and I'm ready to go. What I do is I'll take my Tupperware and I'll put all of this in the Tupperware and I'll actually bring it to the office and like prep a lunch so I can eat it with the team. If you have not tried Taylor Farms chopped salad kits, you're missing out. It's easy to get your salad together, and this is such a quick addition to any dish. Or you could just do a salad with chicken. Grab a Taylor Farms chopped salad kit and get your salad together. There's sweet kale, Caesar, avocado ranch, and Mediterranean crunch. Enjoy. This episode is in collaboration with Daily Look. Okay. The number one highest rated premium personal styling service for women. This is so cool. They've made styling accessible to anyone and everyone. So this is not an algorithm. This is real personal stylist. You have the same stylist every time. And what you can do is you can try on up to 12 premium pieces per box in the comfort of your home. You know how much I love to save time. You know how much I love to save effort, and that does both. So whether you need something that's really chic for a day at the office or you want to upgrade from last year's wrinkled sundress, Daily Look has you covered. I think this is really amazing too for vacation. And listen, maybe you're a really fashionable person, but maybe you're busy with your family, your job, and it's hard to stay up to date with fashion. Daily Look really has you covered. So how it works is simple. You fill out their style quiz, you include your price and lifestyle preferences, and you get up to 12 hand-selected pieces delivered to your home. You buy what you love, and then you send the rest back. And Daily Look offers free shipping both ways. It's truly that easy. I was telling a bunch of moms at school that this is a great way to save time. If you want to get featured names like Kate Spade, Good American, Spiritual Gangster, Girlfriend Collective, they really have everything covered. They have sizes from extra small to 3X and 0 to 24. It's time to get your own personal stylist with Daily Look. Head to dailylook.com to take your style quiz and use code SKINNY for 50% off your first order. Once again, that's dailylook.com for 50% off, and make sure you use our promo code SKINNY so they know that we sent you. One last time, dailylook.com and promo code SKINNY. Did you know that most toilet paper has formaldehyde and chlorine in it? It also has dyes. I was shocked to know, I found out this probably a year ago, that there's all of these crazy things in toilet paper. We're wiping our most intimate areas with this all day long. My daughter is using the toilet paper. My husband's using it. I went on this like wild goose chase to find the best toilet paper on the market. And while I found some brands that were great, I also wanted to create something better. And so that's what we've done at the Skinny Confidential. We have created a better choice. I was involved in every single detail of this toilet paper. We took out formaldehyde, we took out chlorine, we took out the dyes. We took out all the things that I didn't want my family exposed to. And then, of course, in our very Skinny Confidential way, we wrapped it in pink, as you can see. I wanted the experience of the delivery when you got it to be very romantic and pretty. Never are you excited about getting your monthly delivery of toilet paper, and I wanted to make you excited. So it comes in the most luxurious box. You open it, it's packaged cute, and it also has our little stamp on it. And you can put this on all of the rolls in your house and know that it's a better choice for you and your family. I am so passionate about this launch. We have been working on this launch for a long time. My team is so excited about it. It's shaking up the market. and it's disruptive, and it's everything that we want to bring to the table. So if you're looking for a better choice when it comes to your toilet paper, go to shopskinnyconfidential.com. Grab it now. We will sell out, but we're doing subscription. So I would definitely say to subscribe so you can make sure that you get it monthly. That's shopskinnyconfidential.com. What was the thing that hit for you on social media? How did you guys know that you were social media gold? What was the first thing that happened?
Well, I was walking down the street with a friend. We were going to a trunk show, and this girl popped out and said, "What are you wearing?" And it was like, oh. And we got 16,000 hits like overnight. And then she asked me to do it alone. And I did, and that did very well. It's called The Class of Palm Beach. And this girl's been very successful. And she'll just pop up and talk to people and say, "What are you wearing?" And she likes to ask about your fragrance. It's very interesting. But I just fell into a vat of butter because I've had a couple people say, "I think you should do this," and I think you've got a quality that people want.
Did Palm Royale interview you about that show? Because the show seems like it was pretty on the nose.
Well, I know that the creator follows me. I've never really had any contact with them.
They should put you on that show. That would be so
That would
amazing.
be cool.
They should
Are they going to do another season?
I loved
I think
that
they're
show.
doing it a second time. Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing. I loved it. And it really, I think, it captured an essence, and they should put you on that show.
Okay. Can you make a call?
Let's get it going. I'm looking into the
We'll
camera.
get it out onto the airwaves.
Yeah, put it out in the ether.
I'm mad for Carol Burnett. We were in Boston at a Broadway show. You know, they come out in Boston before they go to New York. And she was in the ladies' room, and I told her I was a big fan, and she was so lovely. And I loved her on that show.
The show is so good.
I did a Palm Royale was Palm Beach, 1969. They asked me to do a Palm Beach 2024. So we went to, we did a tour of Worth Avenue, which is our Madison Avenue. And then we went to the Brazilian Court, really fancy restaurant. And then we went to the Four Arts, which is a library. They have ballet and opera. It's just wonderful. The Society of the Four Arts.
I'd like to go to a ballet or an opera, if you're wondering, Michael.
Okay.
I'd like to go to a ballet and get
You can go
for Christmas. Give her tickets.
It's good over there, like around November, December, January. Yeah, that's like.
Yeah. When should we come to Palm
the
Beach?
season starts Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But really Christmas.
What's
Everybody
the best
comes
time
down.
to come have a martini lunch with you?
Oh, anytime.
Oh, okay. We're in.
I haven't traveled for 4 years. I didn't leave, but I used to always go Memorial Day. I would leave Palm Beach and go to New York. And then at Christmas, well, it's fun to go at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because they have a walk down Worth Avenue, and they light this beautiful Christmas tree right in the middle of the street. And it's called the Worth Avenue Stroll. And then, everybody's back in town at Christmas. It's fun. I
have some rapid fire questions for you.
Hit me.
Do you get hit on by younger men?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I can see that.
Do they court you?
It's the confidence, among other things.
Not really, but a girl knows,
Remember, Frank Sinatra said it shouldn't be a staring contest.
I love that line.
You have to say something back.
I'm aware.
What nail polish colors should girls be wearing? I saw you had a point of view on this on your Instagram story.
Very clear.
You rip my nails apart. Come on,
no,
Suebelle.
They're
a little too vampy, huh?
No, they're very girly. Very
you like
Joan
a softer.
Crawford.
Normally, my nails are like yours. So, what's the color we should be wearing?
I think this is ballet slipper, but it might even be lighter than that.
Ballet slipper.
Hmm.
What about perfume? What's the fragrance?
Oh, I love Frederick Malle. He has carnal flower. Have you ever heard of Frederick Malle?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I love all of his fragrances.
Okay. I'm going to look into the one you recommend.
Okay. Yeah. He'll go crazy.
What's the hairspray that we need?
Tresemme.
What's the brand that you think is a great brand for women?
Oh, I love, Ralph, ever since I was 21.
Can never go wrong with Ralph.
Ralph is classic. J. Crew, I love. McLaughlin, McLaughlin.
Okay.
Let me see. I always say I'm very town and country with a few buttons unbuttoned.
That's the most amazing description.
You like that, huh? I modeled for Talbots. They, they're not really fashion forward, but their quality is wonderful. And yeah.
What do you think that the older generation is getting wrong?
They're not staying cute.
They're just letting it go.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the younger generation? You mentioned a couple things, but give us a couple more.
Too short, too low. I get girls in their 30s seem to really like what I say and do. They're a little tired of really, really short and really, really low and sloppy.
So you don't like slutty outfits is what you're saying?
No, I think white jeans and a white Brooks Brothers shirt with a good looking belt. And
classics.
It's not
The
flattering.
classics are the classics for a reason.
But also leave a little to the imagination, right?
Yeah. But you can unbutton.
But unbutton it like town and country. What's one thing everyone needs to stop doing immediately?
Chewing gum.
Oh.
Ugh.
What's your go-to cocktail?
Let me see. I really, I stopped drinking years ago.
Okay. Well, then that's not a good question.
Pellegrino.
Okay.
Sparkling Pellegrino. I did a video. I think it got like 2 million hits. I was opening my kitchen door and I said, Jarlsberg cheese and Pellegrino orange. Pellegrino sent me 4 cases of Pellegrino orange.
You know what, Pellegrino? I think she should be on the next billboard and you should do a whole campaign with her.
No, those Pellegrino fruit ones are really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're wonderful with club soda. And
I like the blood orange one.
What's with the Jarlsberg cheese? Do we need to get that?
Oh, we just love it. Yeah.
It's just, you have like the chunk of cheese, you chop it up.
I love Costco.
Okay.
And do you have Costco around here?
We love Costco.
My dad, I think, is the mayor of Costco.
Yeah,
he might
his
be the
dad's
only person that doesn't get carded at Costco.
Well, I do Instacart Costco, so they bring it to your house.
Oh, I would do that.
And you get a wedge as big as that square for like $12. And if you go to Stop and Shop, that much is like $40. So I'm a big Costco fan.
Okay. Jarlsberg cheese.
I didn't know they did Instacart Costco. Do you have to have the card still?
Of course.
Interesting.
What's the most extra thing in your daily routine? Meaning the most extravagant thing you do?
Oh, I like to put perfume on before I go to bed.
Oh.
Alone. I went for my
Michael's dying.
my stepfather's funeral, and my sister and I had to share a room, and I put on perfume. She said, "You really are a princess." So I've always remember she said that, but it's just part of my, nightly routine. You got to put some perfume on.
Last question. If someone wants to date you,
Yes.
what are your requirements? And you can get as detailed as you want.
I like tall.
Okay.
I like hair. I like pretty eyes. I like shiny shoes. Not patent leather, but, nice
Shine your shoes.
I do not like long pants. I call them deputy dog pants.
Like, you mean baggy pants? Like that are not hemmed? They've not been tailored.
Not tailored.
Okay.
I just did a video. We were in New York, and they don't wear black shoes anymore in New York. Everybody wears brown shoes.
Really?
So I had Allie, every time we saw brown shoes, I'd say, take a picture.
You want brown shoes though, right?
I like brown shoes.
You like the brown shoes. Okay, what else?
Tailored classic Brooks Brothers, not Euro, you know.
What about personality?
Oh God, yes. You have to make me laugh.
Okay.
You have to text me a lot.
Okay.
Richard used to leave messages in different accents. You know,
I'd like a different accent.
All right.
Mix it
I'm
up.
going to get a voice changing app.
So mix it up. Keep it spicy.
absolutely.
I do
absolutely.
actually have one more question just to round this out before you go. This is from my friend Mark. Great example of age is just a number. Advice to people who feel like they missed their calling and fear it's too late.
Oh, you are enough. It's like life is chapters. Let's make this one your best.
Agreed.
Okay.
And you're doing a fabulous job.
Thank you.
I mean, you are an icon. I will say the entire office was so excited that you were coming in. You've got a special sparkle to you. You should be so proud of everything you've created. I will be coming to Palm Beach. Book a trip, Michael.
We're coming.
I've got a guest room. It's twin beds, but that's okay.
I'll just push them together maybe, but
Well, yeah, you
I don't know. I don't know if I could be that separated.
be creative.
I might have a.
We
I might,
could do a little Lucy and Ricky
I
situation.
might. Yeah.
I like that. That gives me some air, some space. I think in a relationship, you got to have a little air. You got to have a little space. You got to have a little
quiet
absence.
time.
Yeah.
I dated a guy and he
like-
said, "Oh, we always have to be in the same room." And I said, "No, I don't care for that."
I don't care for that.
What did you
either.
say to me the other day? I was upstairs doing my own thing. You're like, "Oh, you've been a little detached from the family." I said, "Well, get used to it, because
I didn't say that. He was on his video game, and I'm 6,000 years pregnant.
The best time to be on the video
And
game.
I need someone to be constantly taking care of my children with me. And so I like to throw in a little jab, which is like, get your ass downstairs and
I
help
like her to
me.
learn
It's a
to.
subtle.
She needs to learn to miss me a little bit. I have to
No.
go away for a while.
We could take a little separation,
Separate but equal.
but you better be helping me
true.
with the kids.
We're gonna try the separate car thing, because now that you've talked about it,
No, I don't like to drive.
have you ever seen that joke on the internet that's like, it's the guy talking to his wife in the car, and she says stop, and he goes, "Oh, thank God you're in the car. I was planning on smashing into the back of that person if you weren't here."
Well, you guys are annoying at driving, but I still don't like to drive.
She'll scream stop, and the car is like a football field away.
That's why I love New York City. I love the subways. They're so fast.
Yep.
That's still the best way to get around.
And it's
over
fun people watching. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I love watching you too. You're adorable and you're
Thank you.
attractive and fun.
Thank you.
Thank God I wore
it's
chocolate
really-
pants today instead of black
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, thank God. No, it's an honor to be invited.
Come back anytime.
Thank you.
Where can everyone shop your shoe collaboration? Where can they find you? Pimp yourself out, Suebelle.
Oh, Stubbs and Wooten. It's
Okay.
fabulous. They're the Suebelle, men and women. They're only $325. I have about 50 pairs. I've been buying them for 20 years. The man that started them is Cuban. He's almost royalty. And he was a designer for another company. Just went out of my brain. But they're like, Stubbs and Wooten is like Bergdorf's in New York. It's on Worth Avenue, and they're wonderful. They make a black velvet with a palm tree on it. That's my favorite to wear in New York. So it's like, yes, I'm from Palm Beach.
And now you have your own pair. You guys can go shop. And where can everyone follow you and buy your memoir?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'll let you know. Just follow me on Instagram. That'd be great.
And what's your Instagram?
Suebelle.
Suebelle.
Just Suebelle.
And on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Suebelle.tiktok.
We'll link it all out. We'll put it in the notes.
Thank you for coming on
Well,
the
this
show.
has been fun.
Thanks,
So
Suebelle.
fun.